What's up, gang? How you guys doing? It is Lieutenant Sound Blue here. Want to talk to you guys on a Sunday, okay, about what I got going on, man. Before I get into my podcast, guys, right now I'm working on my website, right? So right now, you know, all of my books, my audio books, you can buy it on Audible. My book, Top 25 Mistakes en Route to the Good Life, you can buy that on Amazon. You know, my mental manifesto that I just launched, you could buy that on Amazon as well. But I need a platform, guys. I need a platform where I can sell all of my stuff, okay, on my own platform, right? I created it, I generated it. Might as well start selling all my stuff on my own platform, right? So instead of people clicking on Amazon to find my book, man, you just go right to my website. So I'm working on that right now. Trying to complete that and trying to figure it all out. Working with a couple of you know, techie guys, because I'm not super techie. I'm just learning as I go, but I'm more on the creative aspect. So I like to create, write, talk, speak, do videos, and so all the technical stuff, even though I need to learn some of it, I am not the best at it, so I'm trying to work through that process. But in doing so, guys, what I want to say is pretty soon I'm going to have my site launched, and I'm going to start running ads to it, so you guys can go and check out my site and purchase all my products from my website. That's the one thing I'm working on. The second thing, guys, that I'm working on is my new book. I know, I just finished Mental Manifesto, and I'm working on the top 25 mistakes, the second volume. I don't know exactly what I'm going to call it, but you guys will be able to recognize it, because I'll just make sure that I put somewhere on there, it is the author of the top 25 mistakes, or however I'm planning on doing it. Either way, guys, I am going to put it out there and make sure that it's on my site, so that you guys can purchase it on my site when I'm done with it. So I'm looking to launch it somewhere in the next 2 months, 2 to 3 months at the most, you know, with me self-producing it and self-editing it myself, which is probably not the greatest idea, guys. If you guys know an editor who's not going to charge me a fortune, then let me know, or let me know, like, whether you know one on Fiverr or Upworks or wherever, and I'll check them out. But anyway, let's get to today's podcast so that we can rock and roll, guys. All right, so let's go, man. What's up, gang? This is Lieutenant Sound Blue, 28-year law enforcement veteran and the author of the top 25 mistakes en route to the good life. And just recently, the Mental Manifesto, got that out there too, guys. That's right. And we're working on book 3. But as we work on that, I just want to talk about some things, right? So as I work on book 3, I realized that, wow, I really made a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes, guys. I'm talking an unhealthy amount of mistakes, and I still turned it all around, and I'm having a good life, right? I'm having a phenomenal life full of joy, happiness, family love, bliss, financial prosperity, and all of the things that you could want. Maybe not all of them, because I stay hungry and I stay wanting to give value. So not all the things you want, but many of the things that you want in life that'll make you happy. I have began to achieve them in my life, even after all these mistakes and all of these setbacks. So as I've gone through my book over and over again, it's second edition, Top 25 Mistakes en Route to the Good Life. You guys have seen it, read it, you know about it. Hopefully you guys grabbed my audio book as well on Audible, Top 25 Mistakes en Route to the Good Life. But there's more. There's more to the onion, right? When you have an onion, you only peel in the first layer before you get to the rich, deep part of where the flavor is in the onion. And so, just want to tell you guys that there's a whole lot more to this story of Lieutenant Sal Blue and how I became who I became, because there are so many more mistakes that I want to open up and reveal to you guys. So in doing so, I was talking to some of my colleagues about it, and not my newer colleagues, but some of my old circle of influence, right? And they asked me a question, and I want to ask you guys this, and maybe you can answer it for me. They said, why are you revealing all of your mistakes to strangers, right? And so I really didn't have to think about it for a while. You know how sometimes somebody asks you a question and you have to think about it for a while? And I think my entire life, not my entire life, but the last 30 years of my life, when it began to change around and I moved out of the middle of the pack and started being obsessed and focused on trying to achieve the most that I could achieve. I think when I began that transition in my life, I saw that I left a lot of people behind. A lot of people who I felt that they could have had a much better life if they just wouldn't have walked down that path, made that one mistake, did that one thing that they shouldn't have done. And it hurts me over and over again that I couldn't help them at the time, right? I couldn't help them at the time, and the truth is I just wasn't good enough. I wasn't good enough to help them at the time because I was in the midst of my mistakes being corrected by somebody who knew better, right? It wasn't that I knew not to make that mistake. No, somebody was watching me closely and they kind of pulled me out of that, stupid mistakes I was making and that circle of failure that I was in, and it was horrible. But I was in it, that circle of failure, with a bunch of people, an entire group of people that were failing at the greatest of greatest levels. They were just failing. They were just blowing it, right? They were blowing relationships, lives, marriages, finances, health. They were doing it all, ruining their career. They were doing it, guys. And I was in the middle of all of that because I was in the middle of the pack guy. And now when my mentor pulled it out of it and I left those guys behind, he said that I wasn't in a position to help them just yet because I wasn't strong enough, not to be re-influenced by the people who were in my original circle of influence, because at the time they had such a power over the decisions I was making. So I had to pull away, I had to back away. And so in saying that, now that I'm so far disconnected from them, I want to reveal all of the mistakes that I made over and over and over again to as many people as possible, so that I can reach as many people as possible, so that they don't fail as bad as I did, right? Some of the people who were making some of the mistakes I did, they continued down that path so bad, it's sad. Some of them ended up taking their own lives, right? Some ended up losing their careers. Some went on to a life of crime, right? Majority of them got divorced, right? Tons of them have children that hate them, right? And the rest of them are just living an unhappy and unsatisfied life. And so it hurts me to my core that I wasn't able to help those people. And I know you can't help everybody. One of my mentors told me that you can only help the people who are swimming toward you. And that was an analogy of the Coast Guard when they're out there and it's a sinking ship. And how do they determine how to help everybody? Well, the way they determine how to help everybody is they can't. They know they can't help everybody. So they begin to help the people